Hey everybody, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
You're watching Tesla Time News.
Episode 453.
On Now You Know.
So remember when Mark Rober came out with this video a few weeks ago showing his Tesla Model Y supposedly in full self-driving, hitting a dummy because it claimed it didn't work in heavy rain?
Well, Kyle Paul just posted this on Friday. Heavy Rain Test 2026 Tesla Model Y Launch Edition. Now, I urge you all to watch his full video on YouTube and go subscribe to his channel.
So Kyle debunked another one of Mark Rober's tests.
Here, Kyle got the Nokomis Volunteer Fire Department to help him test whether heavy rain would keep a Tesla with AI-4 hardware from seeing a test dummy of a child in the road.
Kyle did multiple tests in heavy rain and lighter rain, and each and every single time, his Tesla did see the child test dummy and stopped.
And I would like to point out that unlike Mark Rober, who has millions and millions of subscribers, Kyle Paul, a YouTuber with less than 5,000 subscribers, has done more scientific testing in his debunking videos than the FUD that Mark Rober did.
Great work, Kyle.
Yeah, so I'm not going to ruin the video for you guys. You should go watch it, but I guess I just spoiled it for you. Basically, the child lives. Well, technically he doesn't, because just, I guess, to make sure that you could hit a dummy, he took it out of full self-driving and just hit the dummy.
That's the control.
Exactly.
That's scientific. Mark. The FBI formed a domestic terrorism task force to investigate attacks on Teslas.
But depending on where you get your news, you might not have heard about this.
Out of hundreds of reporting sources Ground News analyzed, barely any are coming from more liberal outlets.
And if they are, they're shifting the focus to President Trump. But with a quick scroll, we easily found reporting calling for the violence to settle down.
This is the kind of partisan spin that fuels public division.
When news is filtered through political lenses, you don't get the truth. You get outrage and misguided attacks on innocent Tesla owners.
Especially when it comes to someone as polarizing as Elon Musk, there's only going to be more spin, more outrage, and more violence unless we have reliable sources of information.
That's exactly why we keep partnering with Ground News. It's an app and website that doesn't just show you the most important stories of our time. They show you the bias, the credibility, and the financial interests driving the different narratives.
Ground News was founded by a former NASA engineer with one mission in mind: to help people break free from echo chambers and see the full picture. And we just knew that our viewers would love what they've built.
From their interest feeds that help us track developments on stories we bring to you guys, to their blind spot feed that surfaces other important stories one side of the spectrum is missing or ignoring, Ground News has truly become a better, smarter version of the doom scrolling that we were already doing.
Which is why we got our viewers 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan we've been using every day. That's just $5 a month for clarity and context when you go to ground.news/NYK or scan the QR code.
Thank you to Ground News for sponsoring us and helping us stay curious, think critically, and stay grounded. And we know it'll do the same for you. All right, it's time for the Cybertruck Roundup.
Yeehaw! The Cybertruck Roundup.
Because, well, basically this whole show is about this. So I think this is why Tesla pulled their bed-mounted range extender battery.
Tesla posted Cybertruck Long Range, now available, $62,490, including the federal tax credit, 362 miles of range with soft tonneau, 6-foot bed, and 7,500 pounds of towing capacity.
As Wes Morrill, Cybertruck's lead engineer, posted, more efficient, more affordable, long-range Cybertruck brings all-wheel stability and traction control, plus a rear-locking differential with up to 362 miles of estimated range. Put it to work with 7,500-pound tow rating, 2,000-pound payload wrapped in a tough stainless steel exterior.
Okay, so this is the rear-wheel drive version. This is what a lot of people have been waiting for.
Yes, this is the, what was it supposed to be in 2019? The $39,000 version?
Yeah.
Inflation. Starts at $69,900 before the $7,500 federal tax credit, $62,490 with the federal credit, and remember, that gets taken off right at the sticker price.
Yoink! So it's $10,000 cheaper than the all-wheel drive version.
Correct.
And 362 miles of range.
Yes, that's 37 miles more range than the 325 miles of range you get with the all-wheel drive. If you also choose the soft tonneau cover, it adds 12 miles of range according to Tesla.
And 61 miles more range than the Cyber Beast 3-motor variant. But what's all this about a soft tonneau on the rear-wheel drive?
Well, it appears that to get to this lower price point, the motorized hardtop tonneau cover, which we have, had to go. So no tonneau cover for the base price unless you want to purchase the $750 soft tonneau cover. Here is Tesla's video of the soft tonneau.
Interesting. So you manually install it along the top, and then it appears to snap into place along the tailgate opening.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what it looks like when you're driving with it open, like if you had something big in the bed and you had to keep it open.
Seems like you just take it off.
Yeah, but my guess is kind of like your tent, that it's probably not a quick attach. I mean, I don't know, but I'm guessing if it's like that, you have to take that plate off and you have some like small screws, and that's my guess. I don't know yet.
And how long does it take to install?
Right.
Okay.
I'm guessing it probably takes about 20 minutes to install, something like that.
And it costs $750.
Right.
I'm not sure if people are going to really jump on that.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, you don't have many other choices if you want a tonneau cover for it.
At least not yet.
Right.
I mean, this is the first Cybertruck where it doesn't come with the hardtop tonneau cover. And now
I mean, they're just trying to get that price down.
Right. So they were like, okay, scrap that. Is there anything else that we're losing? I mean, does the rear-wheel drive get the same towing as the all-wheel drive variant?
You still get a Class 4 steel tow bar, but the capacity is only 7,500 pounds versus 11,000 pounds for the all-wheel drive.
That makes sense. You get like one less motor, so maybe you can't pull as much. How about the wheels?
You get 18-inch wheels included with the rear-wheel drive, which help give you that range. The 20-inch Cyber wheels are $3,500 extra, and the range drops by 19 miles.
Wow. Okay. And so the interior of the rear-wheel drive is also limited to only black textile seats.
Yes. Yeah, you don't get the fancy vegan leather.
Okay.
And you can order it with FSD supervised for an extra $8,000, of course. That's the same across all their vehicles.
So the air suspension had to go.
Correct. No air suspension on the rear-wheel drive.
Only 7 audio speakers instead of 12, and no HEPA filter. No active noise cancellation.
Correct.
I didn't know that my car even had that.
But you keep saying it's so quiet.
No L-track in the bed.
No.
No 120 volt outlets in the cabin.
Nope.
No heated rear seats and no ventilated front seats. Standard center console and no 8-inch screen in the back seat. The payload is lower. It's now 2,000 pounds versus 2,500 pounds for the all-wheel drive.
Yep.
Standard bed lamps versus the premium lamps on the all-wheel drive. So on the all-wheel drive, you get those nice light bars. You can adjust the brightness. I'm not sure what the standard bed lamps are going to look like.
Probably simpler.
Okay. No rear light bar.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm not sure if that's that continuous red line on the rear tailgate.
That would make it cheaper if you got rid of that. So
Right.
you'd only have the 2 brake lights on the side. Okay.
I really like that
I
line.
know. No aluminum pedals.
I can live with that, though.
And no mechanical front locking differential because there's only a rear motor. So
Correct.
there's no need to have a differential in the front.
This is true of cheaper variants. You pay less, you get less. The rear-wheel drive does keep the rear wheel steering, though.
Oh,
So that's-
really?
That's really good. That's the important part. And maybe this is just me, but getting to see all of the things you do get with the all-wheel drive variant, I think works well for moving many customers up the ladder into the all-wheel drive. But what do you think? Comment down below.
Now, Tesla says that the deliveries of the long range start in June.
And just to be clear, because there's other fees when you buy a car, for $72,235, that includes destination and order fee. Might be a little different depending on where you live, and maybe you could pick it up at Giga Texas. Or $64,735 after the federal tax credit, which as long as you don't earn over the federal limits of this, then you can take $7,500 right off the sticker price, because the rear-wheel drive and the all-wheel drive variants qualify for the federal tax credit, whereas the Foundation series did not, and the Beast does not, because those are too expensive.
But then that brings up another question for contractors or people who own a business. Is it heavy enough for the GM tax credit or the, hang on one sec, the Section 179 special allowance deduction?
It is, according to Grok, it is still heavy enough to qualify. It has to be over 6,000 pounds, and it is.
So that means that for people who own a business, it doesn't have to be a landscaper, it could be any business.
And yeah,
You can deduct the entire cost of the vehicle in the first year.
correct. We're not tax accountants, but that is what I believe you can do.
That's my understanding
Check
of
with
it.
your Grok or your tax accountant.
And so then later on when they go sell it, they have to count that as an asset that didn't appreciate.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
What, did you just do your taxes?
Can you tell that I'm up on this stuff, that I bought a Cybertruck and I had to? Yeah. Yes. So I've been looking at the Tesla order page for the Cybertruck, and it looks like they got rid of more than just the air suspension and the bigger wheels and the hard tonneau cover and a bunch of the other stuff. I think they got rid of the bed electrical outlets and the rear underbed storage too.
Yeah, Farzad posted, "This is the weirdest decision ever by Tesla. Just keep the power outlet in the bed. It's already wired and designed for it. It makes the Cybertruck so much more useful for work environments. Baffling." So instead of the bed outlets, though, Tesla seems to have replaced it with the option to buy the PowerShare outlet adapter for $80, saying it allows you to power electronic devices using mobile connector and your PowerShare equipped vehicle's battery. You can then use this adapter to plug in any compatible electronic device you want to power. Written by an engineer, because my Sawzall is not an electronic device, but it's a 20 amp circuit, so you should be able to power it.
So this means that you can't drive and be charging your power tools in the bed at the same time.
Correct. And you can't run anything while you're charging the Cybertruck because obviously you're plugged in.
Which is normally the case. Unless it's DC fast charging, you weren't able to use the bed outlets while it's charging.
Yeah, because like when you're supercharging with your Cybertruck, you could still keep a fridge on, or you could be charging your battery powered tools, while you're supercharging, but you can't in this method.
So basically it's a 120 amp 120 volt outlet instead of two of them, which I believe they had separate circuits. And you're also losing the 240 volt outlet, which I think was like 40 or 50 amps.
Right.
So that's a lot of power that you're not able to gain access to.
And for those who want those features, they will have to get all-wheel drive. And many people are wondering if you could use this new PowerShare outlet adapter on other Tesla models like the Model Y or the Model 3. I don't believe you can, because only the Cybertruck, as far as we're aware at the moment, has the bidirectional PowerShare feature. I did try to purchase the PowerShare adapter so that we could test it for you, but so far I haven't been able to put it in my cart because there's no buy button. So let me know down below if anyone's been able to buy one yet.
And let me know what you think.
Well, that makes sense. They haven't shipped it yet because they haven't shipped this
Right.
Cybertruck
It may
yet.
not come out till June.
So, I think that it's great that there's a new Cybertruck variant for $10,000 less. It will make this vehicle available to many more people.
In fact, we're going to deep dive on all of that on Patreon bonus stories today. So please join our Patreon and you'll get all of our Patreon bonus stories.
Now, I get that each of the features that Tesla removed from this variant help to lower the price, but it would be cool if Tesla could allow some of the features, like the outlets in the back, to be paid options. Because I think if you buy this as a work truck, where you could argue that you don't need the more luxury features like the rear heated seats and the rear screen and the higher quality seats and the speakers, but you probably do need the utility of the bed outlets.
Yeah, again, let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. I really am curious about this.
Now, we asked our patrons in this week's Patreon poll, so we'll see what they think in a minute.
And I guess there's a lot of demand for Cybertruck in the Middle East.
Tesla Europe and the Middle East says a new era launching in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia today. And it isn't just Cybertruck. This also was the refreshed Model Y and the Model 3.
All right, let's go over to our video contributor stories this week. If you've been watching TTN for a while, then you know Brian, our awesome teammate and editor.
Brian recently visited a Tesla event in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Take it away, Brian.
Hey, Zach and Jesse, this is Brian Reeby reporting from the Chattanooga Charge event. An excellent Saturday so far, and we're setting up for the Epic Light Show tonight. Eager attendees gathered at 10 a.m. in Tennessee River Park on the banks of the beautiful, you guessed it, Tennessee River. In the Tesla parking area, I saw my first refresh Model Y, and it's really sharp in person. Cybertrucks were on display, but also powering the event, running the DJ, vendors, and the presentation area, all on CyberPower. Lots of friends of the channel were on hand, with many of them sharing their Tesla insights on everything from FSD and Cybercab to Optimus, with a little SpaceX thrown in for good measure. Fun to see so many wraps and customizations like this X from the future. Test Bros did a DIY PPF demo next to EVJect, showing off their breakaway adapter. Tesla was officially there for test drives as well. Food trucks and a kids area kept it all family friendly and a good way to take breaks throughout the day. Excellent to spend the weekend with the Tesla community, and it sounds like they're already planning for next year. So get out and enjoy events like this near you, or use the excuse like we did for a family road trip. Been a beautiful day here, lots of fun. We're going to do this light show and have a great night. Here are some of my shots from the ground, but go follow Simon Pollock on X at Tesla Light Shows to see the whole incredible show from the air. Now you know.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Jesse and I don't get to make it out to as many Tesla events as we'd like to, but hopefully, as our mobile solar-powered trailer studio nears completion, and now with a much more manageable length show, we should be able to get out there and do more of that soon. So thank you, Brian, for kind of inspiring us. And just about the time that you're seeing this episode getting released today, Jesse and I are going to be hosting Chris and Cheryl Moore. They are the co-founders of Harmony Turbines. And that's going to be over on our Patreon Investor Club exclusive live stream, where our members get to join in and ask questions of the amazing people that start and run companies.
We've been doing it for years, and I think it's pretty unique. So if that kind of stuff seems cool to you, then please join us on Patreon. Join our Investor Club there and get multiple Investor Club bonus videos every week.
All right, it's time for the Patreon poll, where we asked our patrons this week, what do you think about the new long-range Cybertruck variant?
And, kind of...
Split decision. Ding, ding, ding.
So, I mean, I think that 40% people saying great, that's good. You're
really
never
good.
going to be able to appease all the people all the time.
Yep.
It shows that Tesla is pretty smart in taking away some of these features because it is going to push more people towards getting the all-wheel drive.
And I have some pretty important numbers this week that we're going to talk about in Patreon bonus stories that if you're a Tesla shareholder, you probably want to hear. All right, it's time for Elon's X's of the week. Oh, look at that. Doge got a 71% discount off of Google's Workspace for the entire federal government. Bet you didn't hear about that in the legacy media.
Elon said, just ensuring common sense deals for the taxpayer.
And then do Americans have a favorable or unfavorable view of Elon Musk? And oh, look at that. Less and less people are liking Elon.
Elon said the inevitable outcome of having a political propaganda war waged against me, while I have almost no countervailing campaign and at times digging my own grave, way better than my enemies do.
This is a chart of the U.S. federal deficit in March of each year. Red is 2025, the lowest deficit in 5 years.
Elon said some progress.
Jack, who used to own Twitter, said delete all IP law.
And Elon said, I agree.
On Joe Rogan's podcast the other day, Joe was showing how little money raised by a list of 50 NGOs actually goes to helping children.
Kids Wish Network. Look at this. They raised $127 million. They paid to solicitors $109 million. And they spent percentage on direct cash aid to the actual kids is 2.5%. 2.5%. Look at the Cancer Fund of America. Less than 1% went to the actual thing.
Elon said when the scams run for long enough with no one paying attention, they literally send $0 to the kids. Zero. Many times I have asked for pictures of the funding receipts. Sometimes they can't even come up with a single picture.
Elon posted, the pronoun BS is finally going away. That was silly. And at the White House cabinet meeting on Thursday,
Owen Sparks posted this. Elon knows the games the media plays, so he decided to mess with them at the cabinet meeting by writing top secret on his notepad, knowing that they would be snapping pictures of his notes and phone.
and it looks like Elon was having fun at the cabinet meeting. And then Elon said, Grok voice works great for telling children's stories and answering their questions. Why? And for beautiful superchargers this week, we reported on Tesla launching the Model 3Y and Cybertruck in Saudi Arabia.
Well, if you have a Tesla, you're going to want superchargers to go along with them. And Saudi Arabia just got their first supercharger.
They actually got 3.
Give me 3.
All right, it's time for supercharger reviews. Let's see what people have found out there.
Okay, Zach and Jesse, here we are at the Flagstaff Highway 89 supercharger station. It's got a bunch of chargers. You can see they're pretty much empty. 23, I think. Here's a pull through here. They got handicapped over there that it looks like you can pull straight into. That orange trailer in the distance is a food truck, and the building's a liquor store. Then what do we have here? Circle K. I haven't been in there, but from what I understand, they have, the grab and go type stuff, sandwiches and drinks. Otherwise, there's not really much here. So the Circle K is open 24/7. I think I'd normally give it a 5, but because there's restrooms and a pull-through here, a pull-through Tesla charging station, I'll give it a 6. Now you know.
Hey Zach, hey Jesse.
Hi, we're in another supercharging place in Georgia.
Yeah, just outside of Savannah, Georgia. It's at a Parker's Kitchen, kind of a gas station chain here. There's 8 stalls. There's a Chick-fil-A across the way. There's a whole mall across the way with Chipotle. There's also cars in the parking lot with their alarms going off. So that's not great. But other than that, it actually is a pretty decent location. And it has...
Well, the superchargers have free Wi-Fi.
Yes, they have free Wi-Fi here for you to use while you're charging. or I imagine as long as your Tesla's in range. Kind of a nice little bonus. This is the first one I've been at that actually had that, or that I noticed it, to be fair. I don't know. This one's pretty good. There's a whole mess of there's a Costco back there. The Chick-fil-A in close proximity. The bathrooms are very clean at this Parker's Kitchen. Seems like a nice place. I don't know. What would you give it, babe?
I would give it like a 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Okay, well, she's been generous. Jesse's scale, I think this is like a good solid 7 out of 10, to be honest. It's getting there. And of course, now you know. Thank you.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you so much for doing Supercharger reviews. And hey, if you were going to Saudi Arabia, there's 3 new Superchargers to review.
All right, what do we got for new Superchargers?
Well, I'm not sure what was going on last week in China, but Tesla appeared to be lowering the number of charging stalls in many Supercharger locations throughout China, from Shanghai to Beijing, from Wuxi to Wuhan.
Well, John Baker from supercharge.info clarified, because I posted this on X, this is just cleanup of some stale data on supercharge.info in China. We have a fairly reliable method for finding new sites, and often when they close, but didn't have one for when they reduced or increased stalls. So it's not all happening because of just this week, and it's not like some political thing to do with tariffs. It's just some cleanup of data. All right, what do we got for new superchargers?
We have number 258 in Germany is the 8-stall version 4 in Nüd-Rosenfeld, Germany.
Number 44 in Austria, the 8-stall version 4 in Klagenfurt, Austria.
An expansion from 4 to 12 stalls version 4 in Salice, Spain.
Expansion from 12 to 20 stall version 4 in La Jonquera, Spain.
Number 84 in Spain is the 8-stall version 4 in Valladolid, Spain.
Number 187 in Texas, the 12-stall version 4 in Greenville, Texas.
Number 116 in Australia is the 15-stall version 4 at Mooney Beach, New South Wales.
The 8-stall version 4 in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
The 8-stall version 4 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Number 3 in Saudi Arabia, the 8-stall version 4 in Dammam, Saudi Arabia.
The 20-stall version 4 in Jurupa Valley, California.
And number 544 in California, number 2607 in the USA, and number 7153 in the world is the 12-stall version 4 in San Bruno on Cherry Ave, California. And Thursday, we reported that the Lacey, Washington Supercharger location had been bombed.
Well, get this. Tesla Charging posted, Superchargers are back online.
And Max DeZager, Tesla's head of supercharging North America, posted 11 posts, 3 cabinets, and 1600 amp switchgear replaced, wire repulled, debris removed, jurisdiction electrical inspection passed, utility transformer re-engaged, superchargers recommissioned, all in 3.5 days, with support from the city of Lacey and PSE Talk. Behind each act of destruction, there is a community dedicated to dependable charging and Tesla's mission. Thank you, Max. Thank you all of you guys for doing that. That's so great. I can't wait to see you guys on Tuesday. Now you know.